Namo Ratnatriya, my dear Dhamma friends and followers. Today also I came with a subject in Buddhism. Here I am presenting you on behalf of Vajrayana Federation on the topic Vajrayana Views and Vajrayana Talk. Till yesterday we had discussed in different subjects to acquire knowledge, to possess knowledge about Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Till yesterday we discussed what is Buddha, what is Buddhism, what is Dharma, and how the Dharma could acquire in Sangha. And after having the Dharma in our life, then we could understand what is Buddha nature, what is human nature, what is man's nature, how we can get relief from this miserable world, and how could we can safely land our walkings in the path of Amitabha Buddha's Sukhavati Bhavana, the pure life. From today, I'm going to talk the theoretical aspect of the discussion till yesterday, what we have talked, what we have discussed. From today, I want to discuss with you the way of purification in practical way. So, the way of purification in practical way means how can we do the practice about the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Only chanting with the triple gems is not the practical aspect. That is one aspect of very big phenomena, but not the complete aspect. Because whenever and wherever we go, we should request to the person whom are giving us the teaching, the knowledges, whatever may be the knowledge, it means the good knowledges. So from here I'm going to talk about the practical knowledge of Buddha life, or the way of practice. In the way of practice, I am going to talk about the way of purification, because purification is utmost important in our life. Purification of mind, purification of body, purification of speech. Kaya, Vaka, Chitta. Until and unless we could succeed to purify our body, mind and speech, we could not succeed to go on the way to Buddha's nature, Buddha's teachings. That's why the purification is utmost important in our life. First of all, in this practical way of our human life, to go and war to Buddha's nature, Buddha's to be a disciple of Buddha. In purification today, I want to discuss you the very small component, purification of mind. It means until and unless we could purify our mind, we could not succeed to purify body and speech too. Because every desires, greediness, anger, hatred, everything emerges due to the bad activities, negative activities which created from the mind. People had worldly passion which lead them into delusions and suffering. There are 5 ways to emancipate themselves from the bond of worldly passions. First of all, they should have right idea of things, ideas that are based on careful observation, and understand cause and effects and their significance correctly, since the cause of suffering is rooted in the minds of desires and attachments. And since desire and attachment are related to mistake observations of an ego self and ego-ness, neglects the significance of the law of cause and effect. And since it is from these wrong observations, there can be peace only if the mind can be rid of these worldly passions. Secondly, people can get rid of these mistakes, observation, and resulting worldly passion of careful and patient mind control. With efficient mind control, they can avoid desires arising from the stimulating of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and the subsequent mental process, and have by so doing will cut off the very root of all worldly passions. Thirdly, they should have correct ideas with regard to proper use of all things. That is what? With regard to article of food and clothing, they should not think of them in the relation to comfort and pleasure, but only in their relation to the body's needs. Clothing is necessary to protect the body against the extreme of heat and cold, and concern the same of the body. Food is necessary for the nourishment of the body, while it is training for enlightenment and Buddhahood too. Worldly passions can not arise through such a right way of thinking. Fourthly, people should learn endurance. They should learn to induce the discomfort of heat and cold, hunger and thirst. They should learn to be patient when receiving abuse and scorn. For it is the practice of endurance that quenches the fire of worldly passion which is burning up their bodies. Fifthly, the last one, people should learn to see. People should learn to see and to avoid all the dangers, just as a wise man keeps away from wild horses or mad dogs. So one should not make friends with the evil men, nor should go to the places that wise men avoid if one practices caution and prudence. The fire of worldly passion which is burning in their vital will die down. Those 5 ideas, if we can success to practice in our mind, then we will succeed to go onward the path of Buddha. Desires arising from the eyes, from the sounds of the ear hearing, and from the fragrances of the nose smells, from the taste pleasant to the tongue, from things that are agreeable to the sense of thoughts. From these 5 doors to desire come the body's love comforts. That is why there is no way to get free from the trap of worldly passions until and unless we could manage these 5 senses from eye, nose, tongue, ear, and the body skin. Suppose you caught a snake, a crocodile, a bird, whatever may be, then you should think, what should be we do? What will be the reaction when we catch the things? Because of our bodies will give the sensation. Whenever we get the smell, at a time also we should define by mind. Whenever we see something, at a time also we should define by the eyes. For eyes from the mind or heart. In this way, like the creatures in the parable, man is tempted in different ways by the desires of his 6 senses. Eyes, nose, tongue, ear, the skin are the 5 senses, and the chitta, mind is the 6th sense. But all 5 senses will control by the mind until and unless mind plays the vital role to observe what is the things, how it get the smell, what is the sound, and how is the taste. It all defined by the mind, brain. So it in 5 senses, one extra sense is the mind, then it becomes the 6th sense of a human body. If the 6 creatures are all tied to the post, they will try to get free until they are tired out, and then will lie down by the post. Just like this, if people will train and control the mind, there will be no further trouble for the other 5 senses. If the mind is under control, people will have happiness both now in the future too. People love their egoistic comfort, which is the love of fame and praise. But fame and praise are like incense that consumes itself, soon disappears. If people chase after honors of and public acclaim, leave the way from the truth, they are in serious danger and will soon have cause for forget. So a man who chases after fame and wealth and love affairs is like a child who licks honey from the blade of a knife. While he is tasting the sweetness of in a blade, he has to risk hurting his tongue. He is like a man who carries a tongue against a strong wind. The flame will surely burn his hands and face. So, my Dhamma friends and followers, in this way, until and unless we could succeed to control 5 senses, eyes, nose, tongue, and ear, and the skins, because of mind only we can control. So the practice of controlling the five senses through the sixth one by the mind is utmost important. Mind is very quickly walk from one place to another. When we sighted something, immediately we reacted. When we hear something, immediately we reacted in this way. If we could not control the mind's reaction through tongue, nose, ear, eyes, we could not success to walk on the path of Buddha's life. To have Buddha's nature, we should control the mind, which is possible only then when we think one day we should die. Every day we are dying at the night when we are sleeping, and every morning we are getting reborn. So, getting reborn in the morning, we should enjoy joyful. Till this morning, I am alive. In this positive thought, we should think that with joyful nature, we should help to others by all our five and six senses. We should walk through the Satu Brahma Vihara, Maitri, the friendly matter, Karuna with compassion, Mudita with the equality, and Upeksha, sacrificing oneself to help others. When we can do this, we can control our mind from the bad activities of the six senses. Thank you very much. This much for today, the purification of mind. How can we do? This is utmost important in our life. Thank you very much. Bhavatu Sarva Mangalam.